What's up, folks? Getting started with some 9 cubes, aka 1-point perspective. So we're going to take rectangles and turn them into what looks like 3D objects. Alright, so you're going to need some pencils, erasers, ruler, pencil sharpener. Alright, let's get busy. Alright, so first thing you need is a horizon line. I'm going to put that right smack dab in the middle. And you can do it kind of lightly. Alright. And for today's purposes, we're going to put the vanishing point, a little tiny dot, right smack dab in the middle. Okay? We're going to have 3 rectangles here, 3 rectangles here, and 3 across the bottom, just like in the slideshow. So to start off, I'm going to, yours don't have to be the exact same size as mine, but you do want them near the edge of your paper. Right? And I'm probably drawing a little bit too dark because it's easier to go back and make it darker than it is to erase it. So I'm going to try to make it a little bit lighter there. And then mark it off. I'll come back and clean it up in a sec. And just in case you're wondering, mine are about 2 inches across, somewhere around there. And your paper will get messy, I guarantee you. You can always come back and erase it later on. And we're going to need 3 more in the middle. You know, I'm going to start this way just to keep some variety. And we'll make these a different way too. And mine are not perfect, but you do want them to be as rectangular as possible. That's a little bit off, but I'm gonna let it slide. Do another one over here. Yours can be skinnier or fatter than mine. The main thing is, except for the one I'm getting ready to put here in the middle, you want them out by the edges. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do that one in the middle. Alright, so I got 6, just need 3 more. And I'm going kind of fast, but you guys have the advantage of having this on video, so you can pause it, rewind it, play it again, whatever you need. Let's do another one over here. And you'll probably notice the video is a lot better than the last Zoom we did. That's because my sister hooked me up with a GoPro, which is awesome. Let's do one down here. So I got my 9 rectangles. All right, looking good. Next step is I'm gonna start connecting the corners of, I'm gonna start with this one, and I'm gonna connect the corners to the vanishing point. So if when you're a kid, if you ever did connect the dots, you could do that. So if it helps you, you could put a dot on these corners. You don't have to. All right? So I'm gonna connect all of these dots to this dot. All right? And I should have put VP for vanishing point. All right? All right, so here we go. Now, these you definitely want to do lightly because you're going to be doing some erasing. Line them up. Let's do another one. Oh, did that a little bit too dark. And this one. Now, you might be wondering, how come I'm not doing this one? Well, if I did this one, it would go through the box and it would be see-through. We don't want it to be see-through. We want it to be a solid, opaque looking box. All right. So, I'm gonna go ahead and do that on all of them and then come back and chop them off. All right, and you'll see what I'm talking about later. So, since this one is directly above the vanishing point, how many am I going to have to connect? Only 2, right? Because this one would cut through the box and that one would cut through, so I'm not doing it. All right. Here we go. Trying to remember to do it lightly. There you go. So I'm going to do this one over here, and it's going to be very similar to one over here because it's got 3 that I can connect, right? If you want to play a game, you can count how many times I say all right, because evidently I say that a lot. Up top, doing it lightly so I can erase easier. Finally getting the hang of it. You'll notice I'm putting my pencil there so that I know where to stop. Connecting them all to the vanishing point. So basically, if it's not going straight up and down or straight across, every single line is going where? The VP, the vanishing point. All right, so the ones on the sides, kind of similar to the one up top, only going to be 2. 1, 2. Because this one would cut through and that one would cut through. You can see I kind of didn't quite get to the edge on that one, so it looks a little funky. Same thing over here. Three on the bottom. It's going to be a mirror image of the ones up top, right? So I'm going to start down here in the bottom right corner. Like I said, you don't have to do these little dots. You can if you want to, if it helps you. There we go. I'm not even doing the dots this time. I'm just going to put them right on the corner. That one didn't quite go to the dot, so I'm going to erase that one. I don't like that. I want it to go exactly to the vanishing point. There we go. Last one. Cutting all the corners unless it cuts through. So we've got them all connected. Just like on the slideshow, I'm going to start chopping them off. Right. So, if you've taken math, which you probably have, there's a term called parallel. So, parallel lines. If you think about it, tops and bottoms of drawers, sides of tables, sides of paper, they're all parallel. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this line right here and I'm going to echo it over here. But they should be parallel, right? Not like that, because that would be intersecting. We don't want that. We want them to be straight up and down. So I'm going to take this, slide it over, and go from this line to that line. Same thing with the bottom. How do I know when to stop? I go until I hit right there. Right, so if you want to put your pencil there and then slide it down, boom, I got a box. And I'm going to go around and do that on all of them. You'll notice the one on the top, I only have to do one line, right? So just slide it down, chop it off. And you can decide how far to come down. I'm staying within about 1 inch. You do you. Over here, once again, I'm going to take this line, slide it over. Should be parallel. Bam. We'll slide it down until it hits right there. A little too far. On the sides, it can be very similar to this top box because I only have one, right? Slide in, chop it off. So I'm going to do this one over here and work my way across back. Since this one's straight up and down, my next line, straight up and down. This line, horizontal, this line, horizontal. I'm not doing any angles right now, just doing vertical or horizontal. Once again, only one line on this one. I'm gonna make it skinny this time, just for some variety. There we go. Last one. Oh no, I lied, there's two more. Take this, slide it over, draw my parallel line, boom. Since this one's horizontal, my next line, horizontal. Stop when you hit the edge, boom. Last one, take this, move it over, chop it off. So now the erasing begins. On the slideshow I just did half, but you'll get the idea either way. So if it's not part of the box anymore, I get rid of it. So this one right here, is this part of the box? No. So I'm going to erase it. And you'll probably lose some of this box. You can come back and put it back in. Is this line part of the box? Nope. After it gets to that little corner, don't need it anymore. If you've got a fancy eraser like this, you can use those too. Getting rid of this one as well. And there's my little cube. So we're going to do that same thing all the way around. I'll use the big eraser this time. Going to get rid of this right here and this right here. Not part of the box. Get rid of it. You can see these erasers work a little better. Same thing here, these 3 lines. Once it leaves the box, I don't need it anymore. So once I get here to here, get rid of it. Try erase left-handed, see how that goes. One more, switch it up. Cool. Now, I got some different things going on here with this one because the horizon line cuts through the box. So I'll treat it like normal at first. Get rid of these 2 lines that aren't part of the box. This one too. Now, I want to leave the horizon line out here, but if it's not part of the box in here, get rid of it. And this will make it pop forward so it'll look like it's in front of the horizon line. So I'm going to get rid of these 2 little sections. There we go. So if I erase too much, I can always come back, reinforce my lines. But if you reinforce these, make sure you line them back up. Oh, my ruler moved. Got a little jaggedy. So you can definitely see that a lot better now. Coming down here, get rid of these 3 lines outside of the box. Come back and reinforce the lines that were there. You can do this as you do it, or you can go back at the end and do it all at once. Your call. You're probably starting to understand now why I drew light at first, because we did so much erasing. 3 more boxes to go. These parts right here, they're not part of the box anymore, getting rid of them. Same thing over here, this. One more. Last box. Get rid of this. And this one. Gotta get rid of the horizon line, only the part that's inside the box. So we want to bring the box forward. So I can get rid of these 2 little sections right here. That one there. Cool. I can go back and reinforce my lines a little bit since I did some erasing. And if you don't have a ruler at home, you can use anything with a straight edge. You could use the side of a book, piece of wood, whatever you got that's got a straight edge on it. Now, what happened to my middle box? It's got a lot of erasing, so I'm going to bring that back. But what I don't want to bring back is that horizon line inside. If you want to leave the vanishing point, you can. Not a big deal either way, because we don't really need it anymore. Because now that we've got all of our drawing part done, we move on to shading. So you need a light source. Just like when we did the spheres, I'm going to pretend that my light is up here in the top right corner. So I'm going to put it somewhere around here. How's that going to work? I'll show you. Right, so since it's in front of it, so you could erase technically inside of that circle. So your brain really thinks, hey, this thing is in front of the box. It's hitting the front of all these boxes, so they're going to remain white. So if it helps you, so you don't shade the wrong part, you could put a W and all the parts you want to remain white. You don't have to. This is just to keep me from messing up. The only part that's going to be medium is this one right here, this side, and this side. The only part that's going to be dark is the bottoms of these three. So imagine shining a flashlight on a box. That's how it's going to work. Okay? So for medium, I don't care what type of shading you use, your call. I'm going to use kind of a hatching on this one for my medium. Same thing here. Oh, I forgot one. And dark. I'd see right here that I lost a line, so I'm going to bring that back in. And this one too. Alright, so the dark ones, I'm going to just shade it in. I guess you could call it swirling or hatching, whatever you want. But I'm not going to leave very much white on the paper. And you could get way more technical because light bounces around. Another dark and another dark. And if you go outside the lines, that's fine, just come back and erase it. Sorry about bumping the camera. One more. And you can rotate your paper around. I'm just trying to leave it like it is so that it's easier for y'all to see with the camera. This is my first time using the GoPro for a art demo, so hopefully the battery will last. If the film shuts off, you know why. It went a a little bit outside the edges on some of these. I'm going to clean them up just a little bit. Same thing here. I think that's pretty much it, right? If you wanted to make these slightly darker, you could. If you wanted to cross hatch them, doesn't matter to me, as long as they're visibly lighter than the dark side, like Darth Vader. All right, so that's it. You're done. Pretty much, all right? I might come back and get rid of my W's just to kind of make it look more visually appealing. And you're going to take a picture of this with your camera, and remember, you want to hold the camera directly over it, not on the side, and crop it and submit it on Canvas. Hit me up via email or comment if you have any questions. Holla.